Well, you're not going to be ready for the madness. There's nothing more satisfying than watching modern-day feminists get absolutely wrecked by simple facts and logic, so today we're back with even more, from Piers Morgan shutting down an expert who claimed he shouldn't call women ladies, to a so-called businesswoman getting exposed for pushing activism instead of actual business sense. These moments are pure gold, and trust me, you're gonna love every second of watching them trip over their own arguments. As always, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos just like this.
Now, if they make it to the final, the girls will get $5,500 each. The blokes will get $69,000 each.
Each?
How can anyone justify this, Ita?
They can't.
No.
I mean, the gender... I beg your pardon?
I can justify it.
How?
Why?
Because, a sport doesn't become interesting because the stars are paid more money. Stars get paid more money because the sport is interesting. Let me ask you this. How many of you guys on the panel know who our Australian Matildas are playing in the quarterfinals?
Don't.
No, because you don't care about it. Now, if you cared about it...
I do if they win.
No, but that's the thing.
They beat Brazil.
Do you know what? All of you can go and watch W League games in the women's competition here, but you don't. Now, when you start to go and watch these women play the wonderful football they do, then they'll earn more money.
But I don't go to watch the men play football either.
Yeah, I know, but a lot of people do, Ita. The Men's World Cup is one of the biggest money spinners on the planet. Women's football, even though at grassroots level it's working really, really well, it's got a long way to go.
Exactly. I know we mostly have a US-based audience, but if you've ever seen highlight reels of women's soccer, you know it's hilarious for all the wrong reasons. No disrespect, but the comparison between men and women's soccer, it's just not close, like it is with any sport. For this lady to act seriously like the two are on the same level is just delusional. Just to give you a small taste of reality, the 2019 World Women's Cup final pulled an average TV audience of around 82 million. Sounds decent, right? Well, now compare that to the 2022 Men's World Cup final, which had a global reach of nearly 1.5 billion. Yeah, that's not a small difference. It's a galaxy-sized gap, but it didn't end there, as the ladies didn't like the sound arguments being made, which led to this epic back and forth.
The other thing, let me ask you this about sports equality. The top 10 fastest men of all time in terms of sprinters are all black, of African origin. Are you telling me that the white guys should say, hold on, we should be paid just as much as the black guys for sprinting? No, because they're not as fast.
No, whoever wins gets the most.
Yeah, well, that's it. Do you know what? There is not one team in the Women's World Cup that could beat a junior male side in the A-League.
So what?
So they're not as good.
But it's difficult, isn't it? Because it's hard to get women's sport on television. It's hard to get women's sport in newspapers, the coverage that the men's sports. And so the build-up is even harder to get.
Ita, the only reason we're talking about the Matildas today is not because of their achievements on the field, but because of a gender pay discrepancy. Therefore, it's not the sport you're interested in, but the injustice.
And we were talking about it. We were all talking about it on the panel.
You know
we
what?
showed that
does make
clip.
a good point. Can you name 5 players from the team? I can't.
But I'm not a soccer fan.
Well, if you're not even a fan of the sport, why are you arguing about it in the first place? If you don't watch it, don't support it, and don't even care about it. What difference does it make for how much anyone gets paid? And once again, the Aussie guy is correct. For instance, back in 2017, the US women's national team, which is constantly praised as one of the best in the world, actually lost 5-2 at FC Dallas's under-15 boys squad. Let that sink in. Teenagers beat a team of world champions. If any of these young guys should be demanding equal pay based on that performance, not the other way around. Next, we have Piers Morgan shutting down an expert trying to convince him that the term ladies is not acceptable.
Every day, I have some lovely women in our makeup department.
Yeah, but just that phrase is pretty patronising.
Some lovely women.
Yes.
I'm so sorry for calling the women lovely in the building. I'm so sorry.
This is getting crazy.
How do I describe the people who are in my makeup department? What do I call them?
They're fantastic. They're professionals. They do a great job. They made me look a lot better this morning.
If I'm referring to them now, what can I call them?
Lovely women. If they were a group of men.
But they are lovely women.
Yeah, but that does.
And when they make me look slightly less horrific for television, I always say, as a matter of course, thank you, ladies. Right? Is that offensive? Am I offending them? Am I expecting something in return? Am I exercising a power play? Or am I simply being chivalrous and gentlemanly and polite to lovely women.
Younger women really hate being called ladies. They'd rather be called women.
Let me tell you, nobody in that makeup room, I can guarantee, I could pull them out here now and say, what do you think? None of them is going to have any problem with me ever saying, thank you, ladies.
What I'm saying to you, Piers, is that a lot of younger women really do
Some
have
of them are younger women.
And they find it really offensive.
I think you're speaking without knowledge of what a lot of young women think.
A century ago, people were dreaming about a future filled with flying cars, robot butlers, and vacations on the moon. Fast forward to today, and we're stuck having serious debates about whether using the word lady is offensive or patronizing. You really just can't make this stuff up. It's like the more comfortable an advanced society gets, the more people start inventing problems just to feel important. By the way, I've noticed you haven't liked the video or subscribed to the channel yet, so what are you waiting for? Nothing we've talked about so far even comes close to what happens when two feminists walked onto the Dragon's Den, which is the UK's version of Shark Tank. Their pitch was so ridiculous that every investor immediately pulled out.
Can you explain to me why you think there aren't more women in the construction industry at the moment?
If you've got 20 men and 1 woman vying for a position in a building company as a trainee, whether you like it or not, men still choose to take on men. That is a fact as well.
Do you know you're beginning to sound like a crusade?
It's a campaign. It's a campaign because it's a niche market. There's a niche in the market.
Using words like campaigning, using words like I want a woman on every building site.
We do.
Well,
because there are women
do you
out
not
there
see
that
the
don't have that
alienation? Do you not see the alienation that will ensue?
No.
Well, you've already got 5 dragons pretty hacked.
Well, you know, I'm sorry about that.
If you can do that in
I really
5 minutes, what are you going to do when you go into the open market and try and sell your services?
And we've succeeded. We have got the attention of housing associations.
You have
succeeded.
You've succeeded at nothing.
That's not strictly true either.
You haven't got a business that makes any money, and you haven't even started a trading business.
To give you a little context, the ladies were running 2 companies aimed at offering training and jobs for women in the construction industry, which really does sound like a niche market, but the only problem is that their entire business model was built on personal anecdotes with zero research, no data to back up anything they were saying. Couple that with the terrible attitude and the complete inability to handle even basic pushback, and the investors quickly realized they were dealing with activists, not entrepreneurs. Now to wrap things up, we have a feminist heckling a comedian as he was about to make a joke and ended up becoming the punchline herself.
In mansplaining, when a man explains something to a woman in... How brilliant was that? She did not know that was the actual joke. Ooh. You really thought you hit big then with that one, didn't you? I'm going to call out this misogyny on stage. Don't raise a glass. You haven't won anything. You completely up. I mean, this whole routine was pro-feminism. Now I hate all after this. I'm back to toxicity now.
What makes this even more hilarious is he actually had to stop and explain the joke to her because she couldn't resist going full activist mode and heckling the show. But that's the problem with this mindset. It's outrage first, listen later. It's like a live demonstration of how activism without common sense can crash and burn spectacularly. But I'd love to know which one of these moments was your favorite, so let me know in the comments down below. And if you want your friends to see these amazing takedowns, please share the video with them. It means the world. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.